YouTube battle community, people who like collecting records, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about records that I've picked up in the last month or two. And I felt like they justified a video of their own because there's so many of them, and I've been on a digging adventure spree lately, just going to places I haven't gone either in years or I've never gone before, and discovering some gems here and there. The first one here, Wings Wildlife, the half-speed remaster. I have been wanting to get this for a few weeks now. My record store that I go to a couple times over has always been out of stock. They keep selling out, which is great. It's a good problem to have. But I finally got this thing. Still haven't even cracked it open yet. A lot of these I haven't opened yet. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of listening this week, and I'm really stoked about that. So really cool to have this. I've got the first two in this series already, Ram and McCartney 1. They sound great. Excellent job. Stoked to be able to listen to this thing pretty soon. I had a pretty good look at Walmart recently, believe it or not. Once in a while, I get some good records there. And as I'm looking at the back of this one, I realize it's got a good slit in the back here. Oh well. But anyway, Kiss Destroyer on orange vinyl. This is what they call it, resurrected version. So it's that 2012 remix by Bob Ezrin. Definitely stoked to hear that. I haven't heard this remix in a long time, but I mean, one of the coolest album covers of all time. It's on orange vinyl, but here's that little split. I just realized it must have got hit with a box cutter. Oh well, it's okay. It'll still play. Also recently at Walmart, they have just started reissuing a bunch of Billy Joel's albums. So I picked up An Innocent Man. I don't have a whole lot of Billy Joel in my collection, and I really wanted to get this one for a long time, which is easily like a $3 album almost anywhere else you could find, a nice used copy for really cheap. But then I heard these were coming out, and I was like, all right, I'll hold off for a while. I'll pick this one up because it's on custard vinyl with a 12x12 photo insert. So again, haven't opened this one yet either. A lot of these aren't open, but yeah, I thought I would pick this one up just because I love the songs on this one. You got Longest Time, Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl, Keeping the Faith. I mean, there's some great stuff. It's his 60s homage album. Love that. And then I couldn't say no to this one either. 1999 by Prince. This is on clear white vinyl, right? Clear with white swirl vinyl. Couldn't say no to Prince. How can you say no to Prince? This one I just did the review on, the Hollies, Here I Go Again. I got this through Sundays. They were having one of those scratch and dent sales. And I guess the scratch or dentness of this particular copy was the ring wear, because beyond that, there's nothing wrong with this thing at all. Absolutely flawless, really. But it was like $12. I mean, Hollies for $12 in mono? You bet I'm going to get that. This I got a while ago, so I may have shown this one in a different video already, but Thrillington, McCartney, the Ram orchestral version. I think I may have done a video for this for Patreon, where this was in a Patreon video. I can't remember. Patreon.com/Giggens. This one, I still haven't opened this thing yet either, but finally got the Low official Bowie 75th birthday. This is the orange vinyl. One of my favorite Bowie albums, if not my favorite Bowie album, and I've wanted a modern pressing of this for a while. The only one I have on vinyl is the 1977 Japanese pressing, which sounds awesome, but I've wanted a modern one for a while, and when this thing popped up, perfect timing. And I finally got Blue Banisters by Lana Del Rey on vinyl. This thing has been really hard to find. I wanted to get it at Target because they had a Target version I thought would have been cool to pick up. That thing just doesn't exist. And I finally came across this at one of the local stores I go to, and it's just standard black vinyl, but it's so cool to finally have it. I love this thing. Great album. It was in my top 10 albums of the year. This next stack, these are all open, so these would be kind of cool to show you, but I found two albums from John Fred and his Playboys, and this one has the shrink on it still. You'll know John Fred from Judy in Disguise, that song. Well, I always thought he was a singles band. I had no idea there were actual albums from these guys, and I found two. I found his first two. I got this one, just John Fred and his Playboys, and this one's called 34 Minutes and 40 Seconds of John Fred and his Playboys. He would go on to change the name to his Playboy band after Gary Lewis started getting really famous, but man, excellent albums. I couldn't find them streaming anywhere. I don't know if they've been reissued on CD. I couldn't find them at all. So as far as I know, it's just the record. And I did rip a couple of these songs onto my computer to use for my podcast that I do on Patreon. A lot of the records I'm going to show are actually I use them for a podcast on Patreon. That's coming out pretty soon. Actually, by the time you see this, that podcast is probably going to be up. But what I did was I ripped a bunch of songs from these obscure records and made a whole playlist out of it. It was so fun to do. So, my little plug there. It's really cheap. It's $3 a month. You can sign up and cancel whenever you want. But if you want to hear my podcast where I get to play a lot of the songs I talk about, go ahead and sign up. It's really cool. Just patreon.com/Giggens, and we're having a good time over there. This one for Doctors Only. It's a comedy record from the early 60s, and it's not funny at all. It's just not good. It's like folky banjo stuff with humorous songs on it. How to be a doctor, television doctors, my first day at med school, conquest of disease. You thought, this might be kind of funny. It's not really that funny. This was great. Florence Foster Jenkins, The Glory of the Human Voice. Florence Foster Jenkins was kind of a New York socialite who really couldn't sing opera that well, but really loved singing opera, and she made a couple recordings in 1944, sold them as 78s. This got reissued in 1962 as an actual album. And not the best singer in the world, but good on her for having the heart to do it, and the soul and the guts to get out there. I love outsider music because it's about people expressing themselves and doing what they want and doing it for the art of the soul, really. It's an expression. And I found this in a thrift store, digging away in the back of a box, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way this is actually back here. So I do play one of these songs on the Giggens Show podcast as well. Kate and Anna McGarrigle, Dance with Bruised Knees. I picked this up purely because I never saw it before, and it was $1. Kate is actually the mom of Martha and Rufus Wainwright. Look at that. I had no idea. Really good stuff. Some of it's in French. Kind of a folky album. It's on the Warner Brothers label from the late 70s. Pretty cool little pickup there. This one here, John Davidson, The Time of My Life. I had no idea who he was, but I picked it up because this is on the Columbia label, produced by Bob Johnson, who worked with Dylan and everybody else. And he's doing all these great covers. He does Daydream, Michelle, Blowing in the Wind, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Taste of Honey, Strangers in the Night. I had no idea who this guy was, and upon further research discovered he hosted a bunch of TV shows like The $100,000 Pyramid and That's Incredible and a bunch of other stuff. He's been in the entertainment industry forever. Really enjoyed his voice. Great stuff. I put on his cover of Michelle on the episode I did where I ripped all those songs from vinyl. Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful, really nice upgrade copy. I got it because of the hype sticker. And it was, I left a sticker on it. It was $5. I mean, how can you say no to $5 for the spoonful? And this one, I've seen this one a million times, and I finally decided to grab it. What's Shakin'? Basically a compilation of Electra artists, well, even though the Spoonful weren't on there, but you get a couple of Lovin' Spoonful songs. You get Good Time Music, Almost Grown, Don't Bake on It Baby, and Searchin'. But then you also get the Paul Butterfield Blues Fan, Tom Rush, Eric Clapton, Al Cooper. So there's a bunch of people on here, but I loved it for the cover. And, the Lovin' Spoonful were huge at this point, so I can see why they got front and center. The Who Magic Bus. Someone was giving this away for 50 cents at one point, probably in a garage sale back in the day. Picked it up because you just don't see it that often. It's in excellent, excellent shape, so I just had to have it. It's one of my favorite Who albums. I love it. What a wonky little compilation. Fix that a little bit. This is actually a Third Man Records release, the Mississippi Sheiks. Songs that were recorded in the early 30s, so it's old blues stuff. And I haven't played this yet either, but this is actually open. But I found this in an antique store for $10. And it's put up to the Third Man label when they were doing all these big reissues a few years ago. And really stoked to dig into this one. Here's the back cover. It's chronological, 1932 to 34, everything they recorded in that order. This was a Goodwill find, Nicolette Larson. I know nothing about her. It was just in excellent shape, and it was on the Warner Brothers label, produced by Ted Templeton, who produced everybody. And I just had to pick it up just to try it. Still haven't played it yet, but see what it sounds like. These were also some Goodwill finds that I picked up. I like finding sort of, not obscure albums, but things that never got reissued ever again. So here's one. Harry Owens and the Royal Hawaiians, Great Songs of Hawaii. I loved the cover. I thought that little beach resort looked fantastic, and you know, it's gloomy January, February. I don't know what day it is anymore. February. And I just loved that scene. This looks so cool. This is from, I'm thinking, the late 50s, early 60s. Some information about the band on the back there, but definitely going to be listening to that pretty soon. This one is awesome. This is called a Kaleidoscope, Capitol Kaleidoscope, September 1959, a brilliant array of stars and sounds, specially prepared for radio and television programming use only. So it's a promo. It's something Capitol Records would have sent out to radio stations and TV stations so they could play them on air. But it's a big, colorful gatefold from 1959 as a promo. I mean, a lot of time and money went into this thing. And the back's got all the track informations for all 4 sides. But that album cover was hard to say no to. I mean, the Capitol Tower looking all psychedelic and kaleidoscopic. Couldn't say no. This one did not have a sleeve, but it's an Atco promo. Mr. Ackerbilk, Call Me Mister. Again, a Goodwill find. Had to pick it up because it was just weird. This one I also picked up because it was a RCA Record Club exclusive. This guy named Bianco. Never heard of him, but he plays the harp. Here are the tunes you asked for. So I guess Columbia or RCA Record subscribers were able to say, hey, I want him to do these songs, and he recorded all these songs. You know, you get Moon River, You'll Never Walk Alone, Stardust, Green Sleeves, Ebb Tide, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, a whole bunch of, you know, sort of standards of the time. It's from 1964. I haven't played this one either, but looks like it'll be cool. This is an RCA collection double album set called The Decade of the 50s, and it's a really cool fold-out cover. But it's not pop stuff. It's like Harry Belafonte, Eddie Arnold, the Ames brothers, Perry Como, Eddie Fisher, K-Star. So it's stuff that you don't really expect to see in a 50s compilation too much. But I thought it was just cool enough and random enough and in good shape, so I thought I'd pick it up. The inside does say you can also get the 30s, 40s, and 60s compilations as well. Up next, Marlon Jackson. How often do you see a Marlon Jackson album? Not that often. So for $3 or $4, I picked this up. Really interested to hear what this one sounds like. I always liked Marlon's voice. Thought he was cool. This one I've never seen before. It's on the Pickwick label, but it's Harry Nilsson Rock and Roll. And it's some really early stuff from him. It's definitely from the 60s. Well, the music is from the 60s. I don't know when this record actually came out. Probably in the 70s. But yeah, these pictures of him on the back. I mean, look how freaking young he was with his little coiffed haircut there. But yeah, interested to hear what that one sounds like. And then here we got some really good stuff at the end. Another copy of Best of the Beach Boys Volume 3. If there's one thing you'll know about me, if I see a copy of this album, I will always buy it. I don't care what kind of shape it's in, I will buy it. It could be chewed up by a dog, it could be mint condition in the wrapper, I will buy it. You just don't see these things that often. I see them maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. They're pretty rare. And so I'm getting a good stockpile going of these things, and you know, maybe someday I'll just give them away to people so they can have them, but you know, pretty cool. A fantastic album by Yoko Ono, Feeling the Space. This is a really, really good album, and I'm going to work on a review of this pretty soon, but yeah, fantastic album, in incredible shape. I was blown away listening to it. Loved it. This one's in not so good shape, but Tiny Tim's second album, which has some really good stuff on it. You know, definitely, I wouldn't say as popular as his first one was, but there's some excellent tracks on here that, you know, you get the big production from Richard Perry again. So it sounds like the first one. It's got a lot of good electronic songs on here. You know, so it's not just him and his ukulele. It's got that big bombastic soundscape, if you will. But yeah, there's tape on the cover. It's, you know, either well loved or used at parties. I can't tell. This is a copy of The Who's Who Are You? But check this out. It's on red vinyl. This is from the 70s. 1978. Yeah, I'm guessing it came out at that exact time, but Never saw it on red vinyl before, so I absolutely had to pick this up. Let's see what it says here. There are a couple of different markings on the back. MCA Records Canada, so it might be Canadian. So if anyone knows more about that, let me know, but it might be a Canadian release. This was an awesome find. 1980 CBS Records Sunflower. No gatefold. You get the back cover like this, so it looks like the British one kind of. No cotton fields on it though. But in absolutely incredible shape. I had to grab it. Super cool. Finally, after years of looking for this album, every time I found it, it was either beat to hell or super pricey. I found this one for 18 bucks. It's pretty darn good, and it's gonna tide me over for until I find a better one. But this is really, really good for now. Arthur by the Kinks, one of my favorite albums by them. Kinks albums from the late 60s, early 70s in America don't exist. They just don't exist. Purely got this one from the Beach Boys because of that hype sticker. Look at that. Contains the smash hit single Be True to Your School. I've never seen one with a hype sticker before. Very awesome. Record itself is in good shape. Nice playable copy. See if we can get the reflection there. Looks pretty good, but yeah, very cool to have it with the hype sticker. And the very last record of this haul, holy moly, Diana Ross and the Supremes Greatest Hits Volume 3. It's funny enough, this was the second copy I found that day. I was out digging around just a couple of different record stores, and I found one for like $2 or $3. It was just absolutely beat to hell, and I was like, maybe I'll find a better one. And sure enough, I did. Great tracks on this one. You got that late 60s stuff. Reflections, Love Is Here, Now You're Gone, Someday We'll Be Together, Love Child, Forever Came Today, The Happening, The Composer. It's just an excellent set of their late 60s stuff before Diana left. And the record itself is also in great shape too. This is one of those ones I picked up for probably, $4 or $5. It was pretty cheap, but really nice to have a copy of this on vinyl because I don't have a whole lot of their stuff. They're not super common, but I mean, you find them, but they're always beat up because people loved them and played them so much. But yeah. So that's it for now. Actually, there's more, but I'll do that some other time. That's it. So let me know what you guys think about this vinyl haul. If you guys have any of these things, if you've seen them before or picked them up. Really curious to hear your thoughts as well. And beyond that, thank you so much for watching. And consider joining the Patreon, if you will. Patreon.com/Giggens. I post a lot of videos on there of stuff I've done in the past. I do pictures, but mostly it's the podcast. I do a lot of different videos on there too as well, but it's mostly the podcast. And it's so much fun to do that. The community over there is great. It's growing. It's definitely growing. And for $3 a month, give it a try. Sign up, cancel anytime, no obligation, as they say. And see if you like it. I think it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun making the episodes and doing that thing over there. So hopefully you'll dig it too. Anyways, my name is Giggens. Thank you so much for watching this vinyl haul of stuff I've picked up over the last couple of months. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.